episode number 2 of what I'm calling the Justyn Eddy Russell Show so far. I'm sitting here right now. It's the long Easter weekend. By the time you're listening to this, though, it's probably another day. It's not Easter. It's not the Easter weekend for you right now as you're listening to this. But right now for me it is. And I'm enjoying the time off. I haven't done a whole lot because we're all in isolation. The only thing that only thing that I've been doing, I don't know what everybody else is up to. Been using that, what's it called? House party app, to contact family with, but that's about it. What I'm doing, I'm just watching TV, playing some old PS3 games, actually. That was a sound. Playing some old PS3 games. The Last of Us. I'm revisiting The Last of Us again. And pretty excited for the new game to be coming out. I think it's in May it comes out. Pretty excited for that. On PS4, I don't know if it's on Xbox or anything. I don't play Xbox. I play the fucking PlayStation. But I've been revisiting it on the highest difficulty, grounded, and fuck me dead, it is pretty intense. I have played it on grounded before, which I just find it really fucking fascinating, and I'm actually a really big fan of that game. Like, I don't know if anyone else is out there that is like me, but I like to revisit things and just scour, I don't know if that's the right word, but just go through every nook and cranny of the game, and just, I don't know, pretend like I am Joel trying to survive and shit. But that's what the grounded feels like. Feels like you're actually like him, I suppose. You don't get any of the, you don't get as much stuff. You don't find as many guns or bullets or ammunition and things to fix your weapons up with and stuff. It's you really gotta make your weapons last. So if you just go around shooting all of the zombies and you waste all your ammunition, you might need it for a harder level, then you have to be mindful of that. So it's you are actually scrounging, and the way that I suppose it would be if that was a real thing happening. You would have to make sure that every part of your inventory was used to its best potential, and not just used because you feel like shooting some zombies in the head and getting the mission over and done with, which is super it can be super frustrating, because the one thing that I was having trouble with yesterday was when you use a shiv, for example, when you use a shiv, if you go to grab a zombie that's sick and it's bent over and you're just trying to be stealthy and you grab it, the shiv, you get to use the shiv on the same button, which is triangle, and I don't know what it is for Xbox, I can't think of that, but when you hit triangle and then you hit triangle again, it just shivs it in the neck and gets rid of it really clean and whatever else. But what you want to do is you want to keep your shivs around, so that way when you get to unlock, you get to those doors. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about will know, you'll get to some doors where you've got to use a shiv to bust it open with, and so you don't want to use your shivs on these zombies, because then you don't get to unlock those doors and you don't get all those fancy cool little bits and pieces that obviously will make life a lot better later on down the track, when it gets a bit tougher. So you have to make sure that you don't. But anyway, what I was doing yesterday, I got through everything perfectly. Like there's like this part where you crawl through, you first get your Molotov cocktail, and you can decide whether you want to make a medical kit or an extra Molotov cocktail. So you have one, and then you find another one with all the ingredients to make a medical kit. And I chose to make the medical kit because I thought, well, you might as well have something that can keep you alive and something that you can kill people with, kill the zombies with. And so it was the first go, gave it a go, and I got through everything fucking smooth. And then I got to this last zombie where he was like bent over, and I wanted to like choke it out instead of using the shiv. But I got really nervous, so what I was doing was when I was walking up to it, I was like hitting the triangle button, like, because like it'll just automatically grab it, and then you got to use square to like strangle them out. And so as I was walking up, I hit triangle, and then I hit triangle again and used my shiv accidentally because I was nervous and I fucked up. And then I was like, no, I need to keep the shiv like left over for like later on in the game, which I already knew. So I redid that part like at least 5 times afterwards, even though I got it right the first go. But 5 times afterwards, I just couldn't get it right. Because what I do is when you're in that part, in like the underground part, you crawl through and you get a shiv, and then there's like, you might have like a brick or a bottle, and then there's another bottle in front of you, and like Ellie and whatever the other bitch's name is, they just hide behind a fucking pillar or some shit, whatever it's called, that's fallen down. They hide, and then like I throw a bottle or a brick, and then it tracks them all into this one spot, and I get the Molotov cocktail, throw it, and then they all burn, and then all the other ones that hear the commotion going on all run to the fire, and they burn up, and you kill them all in one fucking go. And I just could not get that part right for like 5 goes afterwards, and I was getting really fucking pissed off. But life's good, got through it. And so now that's probably what I'm going to do after this. But I've also got another plan. We've got some, as you guys might know, if you know who I am, my name's Justyn Russell. I play in a band called The Stilts. Obviously, not too much music going on at this stage. We do have a song recorded and ready to go, which was like done before all this isolation stuff came into play. So we're probably gonna do like a little ditty of it this afternoon. We're gonna use that app, what's it called? House Party. We're gonna use that, and we're gonna try and record some music through it. And then we're gonna put it on social medias, and then you guys will get a little bit of a introduction on how that sounds. And we thought it'd be cool to use the House Party app. Not really sure how it's going to go, but we thought it would be really cool to give that a go and just screen record it, because obviously we can't meet up with each other, and that's probably the best way that we can get together and play some music. So we're going to give that a go this afternoon, but right now I'm just recording this podcast. I'm feeling a bit seedy. Last night I had a few drinks with my girlfriend. Went and got Super Hornet beer, which are pretty fucking strong actually. And so I just thought I'd get some of those so that I can get drunk pretty quick and get it over and done with. Not over and done, well, you know what I mean. Just get fucking drunk straight away. And got this other drink too. It's I think it's made in India or something. It had like some spice to it, like some chili flavor to it. actually don't know what it's called. It's called Nipa 2.1 or something. And yeah, it's not too bad. Actually, I preferred the Super Hornet though. They're like 2.7 standard drinks in a Super Hornet, just one can. I was like, sweet, let's get 4 of those and an extra straggler and see what the extra straggler tastes like. But I am glad I only got one of those. I don't think I would don't think I'd drink a Nipa again. I'm not really sure on the spice of it. It's just not for me actually. The Super Hornet's really nice, which is weird. The Nipa, like the first taste of the Nipa tastes exactly like the Super Hornet, but then you get kind of like halfway through it and you're like, this is different, and I'm not really sure on it. Made me feel a bit. The Super Hornets made me feel nice though, but we sat up all night because we got this new MBN that we got. I don't know. I swear to God, I swear what they do. Like we got some pretty cheap internet where we live in, and like we were pretty happy. It was only like $60 a month or some shit. Pretty cheap. It has bad connection sometimes, but overall it's pretty cheap and it works. Like that's what we wanted. Seeing as like, especially when we were both going to uni, but now that I'm working and this new MBN thing came through, we figured we'd upgrade and try that out. But yeah, I swear to God that they slow your internet down and piss you off, so you're like, fuck it, I'll just get the new MBN, which sucks for the people that can't afford that sort of thing. I don't know why they would. I mean, I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it so that you fucking drop the old shit and go to the new shit, right? And obviously the new shit's more expensive, so they earn more money, blah, 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 blah. We all understand. It's just a bit of a pain in the ass, because if we couldn't afford that, well then we'd just be stuck with shitty internet, and then, like, I don't know, like, we always get to a point where the internet got so bad that we just go, oh fuck it, we'll just use our own internet, like our own like phone data internet, and then obviously you go over your internet data and then you end up spending more money than you'd fucking like to, which is really like, I find it to be a pain in the ass. Just need to adjust this fucking thing. It's hurt my back. Yeah, and so yeah, the fuckers got us. They obviously their plan to I don't know. I feel like it's just very convenient. All of a sudden, our internet starts being shit, and then we start getting NBN upgrades in our letterbox and emails and things like that. Just sort of makes sense. I'm sure that's what they're up to. Anyway, we got NBN. It works. It's really fast. It's really good. And so what we had to do last night was I don't know if you guys ever use Chromecast, but we had the Chromecast set up with the old connection, and so last night, being drunk and fucking stupid, sitting there for fucking at least an hour trying to figure out how to get this new connection going on. And I'm looking on my phone, my missus is looking at her phone, and we're like, oh, yeah, how do we figure this out? And then eventually we figured it out, because we wanted to watch Disney Plus in bed. So what we have I have an old computer monitor set up in the bedroom, and then I just have the Chromecast plugged straight into the HDMI import, and then yeah, and then just download Disney Plus onto our phone and fucking plug in and go. And so yeah, we sat there for an hour trying to like figure that out. And then as soon as we got it to work, everything was working fine. We put on Atlantis, because fucking that's the whole reason why you get Disney Plus, right? Because of nostalgia. yeah, probably within the first 5 minutes, we fell asleep. So it was, we could have just watched it on the couch, but fuck it, we got it now. Got it all happening, so that's probably what we'll do tonight. Actually, there's a Netflix movie that we really want to check out called, I think it's called The Platform, and it by the look of the advertisement, it looks like basically there's just people that are in a jail, or they're in some sort of room that they're stuck in, and food or whatever goes down the platform, and people eat as much as they can off the platform, and it just keeps going down and down and down. I suppose the people that are treated the worst get the least, and it looks like it'd be a pretty good psychological thriller. But what I can gather, it's just like, if everybody just ate what they needed, then there'd be enough to go around for everyone, but everyone just eats and pigs out and takes as much as they want without really thinking about the other person or the other people below them. Yeah, I think it's going to have some sort of metaphorical substance to it. Don't know. I'm sure it's going to try and tell you how to live your life and how we should be living our lives, which I'm sure in the end will be truthful. But yeah, we'll watch it and just go on living the rest of our lives as normal, and take the message on for about half an hour, and then we'll go back to being fucking greedy human beings, like the way that we are. We try to be. I think we all. I mean, anyone with like a conscience tries to better themselves in some way. But I don't know. I feel like if you're a human, you being alive is doing something that's gonna fuck up something else's life. I mean, you eat food. You get like a milk carton from the packet and you throw it into the recycling bin, but then the recycling companies can't take everything in, or can't process everything, so it all goes to the tip, and then that goes into landfill, and then fucking something gets lost in the drain and then goes into the water systems, and some turtle gets strangled by something and whatever else. I think we all try to do what we can in some way or another, but I feel like even like the most hardcore people, even though they would not like to admit it, I think us just being human beings is we're damaging something. I think that's just what humans do. We just walk through and barge over whatever's in front of us, even though we don't intend to. That's just how it ends up happening, unfortunately. I don't know how we ended up here, but anyway, yeah, I don't know if I spoke enough about I know what we're talking about with that song. So the song that we're going to release is called Friends. And basically everything's recorded in the same fucking bedroom as what I'm recording this podcast in. Bedroom, fucking office, whatever you want to call it. So basically I'm gonna call Rob, or he's gonna call me, and I'm gonna have a shower and warm my voice up, and try not to be fucking feel as hungover as what I do right now. Just try to be in the zone, I guess. And then we're gonna screen record it. It's gonna save to my phone, and then I'm just gonna post it onto Instagram and Facebook, and you guys can have a bit of a listen and see what you guys think of it. And if you don't like it, then I don't know. Don't listen to it, I suppose. It's going to be released sometime this year, mid year maybe. That's pretty much it. Yeah, just trying to stay healthy. Found some supplements in the supermarket. It's the brand's called Sup. It's got all different nutrients in it, like all your different vitamins and stuff in it. And I gotta say, it feels good to take that sort of stuff. It's the one way that I've described it to another mate of mine, because they asked me, like, does it make you feel any better? And like, I don't, like, I wanted to be skeptical so that, if it doesn't work, then I could be like, well, obviously it doesn't work. But I don't want to be one of those people that just takes something and, like, I've just been sold something and I'm just like, yeah, this is the best fucking thing. Like, and, the only thing that it's really doing is just like it's just a placebo or some shit. I actually want to feel like it is actually working, and I'm actually talking truth. So I think that it is doing something. Like, the best way that I've described it is like when you're doing a mix, like when you're mixing a song or something, or maybe you're cooking, or maybe you're like, I don't know, writing a song or whatever else, and it's those finishing touches that sort of make the mix of a song better. Like those small little changes, not big changes. It's the small changes that you make that make a big difference. Like you might add a pinch of salt into some sort of cooking that you do. All of a sudden you're like, yeah, that's better. Like you add too much salt and it tastes too salty, but you add a little bit of salt, just a little pinch. All of a sudden, fuck yeah, mate, it's on. That's the way that I think that these supplements work. Like they go into your body, and it's not a big noticeable difference like when you're drinking a coffee and you just all of a sudden you feel buzzed. It's like a tiny little realization where all of a sudden you just feel, I feel like I could take the day on now. Yeah, like even after this morning I felt pretty shitty. I still feel a bit seedy. And I took those supplements and I gotta say, I feel a little bit better. I feel like a tad bit more motivated, if that makes sense. Like I can take on the day. And then they have these other ones called, they're called Focus or whatever. And it's to like, this is the thing that I don't know, like, that I'm not sure about that sort of stuff. I do feel like it does work. It does feel like it puts me into a focused state. And I do feel like I'm more on the ball. But I think what I get a bit like skeptical is it's like, so it just makes you more focused, right? But like, I feel like you need something to focus on. Like you can't just take it and be like, I'm super focused now. Like, all of a sudden I'm just a focused guy. But you've got to focus on something to be focused. You can't just be walking down the street and take these fucking focus tablets and all of a sudden you're just like in the zone and just being a fucking sick human being. Like, but I feel like in saying that, even though I am skeptical, like I feel like when I'm at work and stuff, like it's hard. Like I feel like I take a combination of things. I'm taking these supplements for nutrients and just vitamins and stuff, that sort of stuff to try and make my body feel healthier, I suppose. And then I take these focus ones and I can't tell whether or not it's just that I feel better from the actual nutrients or this thing is actually putting me into a focused state of mind. Because there's some days that I take it and I still feel a little bit flimsy, but it makes me wonder, like, if I didn't take it, would I be worse? But I don't know. I think it's probably the same thing. Like, it's not like a big noticeable difference. And I don't think you're really noticing what's happening. But, yeah, I think it does do something. And I love that. Like, I get really excited about that sort of stuff. I like to stay skeptical because I want to make sure whatever I'm taking is actually working. But I love things to do with, like, the mind and, like, focus and, like, brain enhancement. There's this thing, there's this coffee made by Four Sigmatic, and it's got the mushroom, that, I don't know, it's got some sort of mushroom in it. And, it's like supposed to be good for your brain or something. I've done no research on this thing, but it's supposed to be good for your brain. But one thing I did like about that coffee is that it doesn't get you like buzzed, or doesn't get you like jittery. Like if you have too much coffee, it makes you feel sort of like, I don't know, jittery and uneasy and just unsettled. This one, like, it felt like it got me going in the morning, but it was also kind of exciting to think that I'm taking something that's also like healthy for your brain, which, you know, whatever that means. I don't know what it does. I don't know if it makes you think better or have more intelligent thoughts. I don't know if you can make yourself more intelligent just by eating a fucking mushroom. I have no idea. I have no fucking idea. I'm sure. I mean, there are mushrooms that can give you fucking insights into things, I suppose. That's fucking what you would call shrooms, psychedelic shrooms. Again, got no experience, have no idea. Am interested and am open-minded to the idea of that, because I just like the idea of brain or mind expansion. I like that idea. And just finding the deeper meanings to things and finding ways to improve yourself. That's what I've been doing. I've been getting into meditation a little bit more than I would have normally. And I feel like it has definitely done something for me. It's made me feel like whenever I feel like I'm in a situation that I can't handle, I just remember my meditation. I try to find peace within difficult situations, and I feel I just feel more at ease with life. Like I feel like lately I've been just trying to find happiness from where I'm at. It's something that I had realized. So my dad died from prostate cancer, actually, and he died at the age of 59. And I mean, I'm sure this is all helping too. He died at the age of 59. And like I'm 27 this year, and that's like, I don't know, something like 32 years away. And I thought to myself, I would, in 32 years time, I would be the same, or something like that. 32 years time, I'll be the same age as my dad, when he died. And I thought, fuck, dude, that's not a lot of time. And for years, for a long time, actually, I think it could have been because, I think when he died, it affected me more than I realized, more than I cared to admit. And I never really, I don't think that I really confronted it. And it's still, I think I'm still sort of, even now, because I never really talked about it or anything like that. It's taken a few years for me to sort of get to a point mentally where I feel myself again. And like before that all happened, I was a pretty confident young man. Like I never used to have like anxiety talking to people. I was pretty up for conversation, wherever the conversation was being had. Like, meeting new people never used to scare me. And then, yeah, for the last 4 years, I've had a bit of anxiety build up that I never noticed beforehand, and just a bit depressed, things like that. Like, just not feeling the confident person that I was feeling after that happened, and like I'm starting to notice that. I'm starting to realize that, okay, that actually did affect you, and even though you didn't want to, I suppose, even admit that I was affected, I think I wanted to be the person that, like, when that happened, it's like, oh, people die. But when people die, you're allowed to feel affected, because they were loved ones in your life. Like, you're allowed to feel upset, and it's even better to let yourself feel upset, because if you don't let yourself feel upset, well, which is, in my experience, I felt like, if I didn't let myself feel upset, then you can't really get over over what's going on. Like, you need to, like, I feel like these days where it's pretty obvious, but maybe it's not as obvious to, I mean, it wasn't obvious to me, but like, I'm starting to realize that the quicker that you let yourself feel a particular feeling, the quicker that you can get over that feeling. So if you're feeling sad, at least what I was doing when I was feeling sad is I would just, I'm feeling upset. Let's go watch a movie and get whatever is on my mind off my mind by watching a movie. And like I'd watch something happy or uplifting, or just some sort of entertainment in general, and stop myself from actually thinking, and therefore, I suppose, feeling at the same time. And I realized, I was like, oh well, shit, I need to actually I'm still feeling upset, and this is like 3 years later, and like I know that's still probably pretty fresh, but I feel like I probably should have or could have just let myself feel upset, and maybe 3 years down the track I would have felt better than what I did. And I think that I ignored those feelings and gone around in circles now. But anyway, what I'm starting to realize is that like in 32 years time, I'm going to be the same age as my dad when he died. And I thought, well, it's quite, even though you don't like to think about it, it's quite possible that particular thing could happen to me. And so do I really want to feel depressed and upset for the next fucking 32 years of my life? Not having there's some things in life that I might not ever have, and there's some things in life that that I can have. And I'm starting to realize through meditation and things like that like happiness is nowhere else but inside your own head, and that taking something or watching something, entertainment is good, but pure joy and happiness can only be had from where you're sitting right now. Like, and actually letting yourself feel things is actually letting go of things, and letting your mind process thoughts is actually letting go of those thoughts, and not like, and just realizing that they are just thoughts. Like, though, like, you might have thoughts in your head that you think that you shouldn't have, and sometimes it's probably good to go and talk to someone and get those things figured, sorted out, I suppose. Like, if it is getting pretty bad, for myself, I felt like I was able to understand through just meditation and things that I'd found. I actually, yeah. I mean, I did go to talk to someone. I went. I've seen two people. I've spoken to one person a few years ago, and I gotta be honest, I thought it was shit. I didn't really enjoy it that much. And then I went and saw someone again, here in Brizzy, and I did enjoy the first session, but this is probably me just being a male and thinking that I can take things on by myself, but I just felt like he was just going to tell me stuff that I'd already heard before, and I felt that I was able to stop seeing him and take it on by myself. I felt like I wasn't that bad that I needed to do that. So that's what I did, and I don't know. I'm fucking feeling pretty good. Like, I'm starting to figure some stuff out. Like, I feel like I said, meditation's really helping me. So, I mean, if it feels like it's helping, and I feel, I feel 10, or I feel way happier than what I did, and I don't know, I'm just able to accept things a lot better. I don't feel as angry. Anyone that fucking knows me pretty well knows that I had a pretty bad anger issue, and still sometimes have to fucking figure that out, but I feel like way more relaxed. Some people might say fucking too relaxed sometimes, but yeah, I feel like I'm at a good headspace with all that sort of stuff. And I suppose if there's anyone listening to this and they feel like if they're going through that sort of stuff right now, I would say maybe you can go and talk to someone. Maybe that's the best thing for you. I would say, yeah, just if that's what you think you should do, probably go and do it. Maybe it's just as simple as just talking to someone that you trust, and just dealing with that situation. I don't think there's a right way to do things. Like, I feel like you just have to do what's best for yourself, which might be hard to decide what is the best thing for me at this time. So maybe if you are in that situation that you feel like, I don't really know what to do, maybe going to see someone is probably the best thing. But yeah, just in my experience, I just felt like that I didn't need to do that. And I felt, well, obviously I did feel like I need to do it, so I did it. But I just felt like the second time around, I just felt like I didn't really feel like having someone. This might be an ego thing, but I just didn't feel like I needed someone to tell me how to be happy, I suppose. I felt like I could figure out happiness on my own, which I feel like I have sort of successfully achieved, which is, like, I suppose, a tick in my box for figuring that out on my own, but not just figuring it out on my own, but just the fact that yeah, just being happy in general, I suppose. I felt that like just moving, like I was for the last few months or something, I've just been trying to move, like go for walks, take my dog for a walk, or just do some stretches as well. I felt like stretches, sorry, apologize. Just doing stretches and shit, it's been pretty good too. Like, you just feel freer. Well, I felt free. And so when you do go for a walk, like, your muscles just feel really malleable. And I bought this yoga DVD that it's called Hatha and Flow yoga. And I've been doing that I've had the video for a long time, but I've just been revisiting it every now and then. I'll come back to it and do those stretches, and then if I feel like it, I'll do the flow one, which is fucking hard, but well, for me it is anyway. But just doing things like that, where it is like a bit of self-improvement, makes you feel good about yourself. And then just making your bed and just doing things small, like just the small things that sometimes you might overlook, and you think, oh, this isn't gonna make me feel better, but it does. It does make you feel better, because when you come back to your bed and it's made, you're like, I fucking did that. It might be something really small, but it's a sense of achievement, even though it is small. You do some stretches, then you're like, oh, I just did that. Like, that's something easy and achievable. It's, sometimes doing exercise, you think, oh, I've got to go for a big run or some sort of intense training to get fit. But just making the attempt to move your body in general, I felt for myself it was like a preparation of getting the fucking train moving again, busting through that next chapter of your life, where today I'm not going to just sit on the couch and watch TV all day, because that'll make me feel depressed, make me feel like I didn't achieve anything all day. At least I can say that I moved my body, just even if it was just stretching. I can say that I made my bed. I can say that I, just doing a couple of chores around the house and stuff. It might only be small stuff, but it just gets your head in the right mind frame. And I know, I think there for a while I was, I can still be a bit slobby, but I feel like I'm working on that, and I feel like just working on those bits and pieces. I feel like when you are depressed, you don't really feel like doing anything for yourself, so you just sit around and don't do anything, and then you feel even worse at the end of the day because you didn't do anything. So it's hard to make that decision, and that today I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do something. But I find that once you start, and don't start too vigorously. If you're the kind of person that's like me, who like will throw themselves into something hard and fast and then give up just as quick, I've found that starting slow and realizing that this doesn't have to be a hard and fast sprint. Life is a fucking marathon, and so just taking your time. Like, I don't have to be fucking fit by the end of the year. I don't have to be fucking running a marathon by the end of the year and be super fit. I just have to be willing to stretch my body, and maybe in 5 years time I'll be running a fucking marathon. But sometimes, yeah, just getting yourself moving in general, and just starting off small, starting off slow, just small steps they're achievable, and as long as those steps are in the right direction, you're doing more than enough. As long as, just give it a go, man. Like, if you're feeling like the way that I did in the last few years, like, it might be a bit of a surprise to some people, because I might put on a pretty straight face, whatever, and might not show that I was upset, but I remember, I don't know why I did this, but I remember I used to, like, when I was by myself, like, I'd be feeling like, if I was around people and I felt upset, like, all of a sudden, like, going back to when my dad died, when I was feeling upset, like, sometimes I'd just be standing around with all of my friends, and everyone would be laughing and joking. Then all of a sudden, I'll just think about that. Oh, my dad's not here anymore. Like, I'll never be able to talk to him ever again. And then it just come out of nowhere, and I think that was because I never dealt with it, and because I never dealt with it, it just came up in weird times. And then I'd go home and I'd just start bawling out, crying. Like, no one would be home. I'd just be by myself, and I'd wake up early in the morning before my girlfriend got up, and I'd sit there and watch TV. Then all of a sudden, I'll just start bursting out crying and just be upset. And maybe that's just how it works. I've got no idea if there's a right way of dealing with it, but I feel like for the first 6 months or so, I don't think I spoke to my girlfriend about it at all. I never even mentioned his name. I never spoke. I never said anything about it. And then one day she came up and she just said, like, how come you haven't said anything about this? And I was like, I don't know, but I knew I was upset. I just didn't know why I didn't talk about it. And all of a sudden, that rush of emotion would come in weird places, and it was really strange. But I found that when I did start talking to her about it a bit more, and I started talking to my friends about it a bit more, even like, it might be a bit awkward sometimes talking to your friends about it, but it frees you up a little bit. Like, because there was always that thing in the back of my mind, like, can I talk to them about this sort of thing? Because I don't want to bum them out. But if they're, if you got friends, if you're around friends that you can't talk to you can't talk to them about that sort of stuff, then maybe you need other friends, because that's not nice. You should be able to talk to your friends about that sort of stuff, and not have to feel like you're bringing their mood down. Like, they should want to be there for you, I suppose. I just started talking to them about it, even if it was like I just bring up his name, or just say, oh, that's what my dad used to do, or my dad told me this joke, I'll tell you guys this joke, and blah 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 blah, and just address the elephant in the room. Like, they know that this has happened. And then when you bring it up and whatever else, it can just be it can just be a normal conversation. Like, okay, we all know that his dad's dead, but it doesn't have to be every time it gets brought up now. It doesn't have to be a big burden every time the name or the situation comes up. It just has to be, oh, that's just, yeah, you know, he's just talking about it like it's a normal conversation. It after a while, well, for me, it didn't feel like it was a big deal anymore. It just felt like, you know, something that I'd accepted, my friends had gotten used to, and my girlfriend had gotten used to, and there are times that I still feel a bit upset about, which is probably why I'm talking about it now. But, yeah, the more you talk about it, I've realized the power of conversation, man. Like, as a male, I don't particularly love talking about feelings out loud. Which is fucking weird. I don't know why we do that, but, you know, I suppose it's just, you know, we feel like we can take things on by ourselves, and then we get to a point where we find out and realize that we can't do this on our own, and we start to break down, and we have to go and talk to some dude who gets paid, I don't know, $200 an hour to fucking tell you something that you already know. You might not know it. You might not know. So maybe, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, just fucking the power of conversation, man. It's incredible what you can achieve just by using your words. And I have been learning that like Flatstick lately. Just sometimes when you're around other males, we don't talk to each other about stuff, and therefore we just build up anger around each other and then end up exploding at each other, and that might end up in fist fights. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if there's anyone that's ever been has ever had this happen to them, like where you've had a fight with one of your mates, and it might be a yelling match or whatever, and then you end up realizing that you guys were in the same mindset or the same position, and that this screaming and yelling match or even fist fight, in the end, you feel better because you get all of that emotion out of you. But that it could potentially be possibly be damaging to that friendship. But sometimes after you've gotten all that emotion out of yourself and you've screamed at each other or whatever else, you feel 10 times better, and you realize, you know, you don't hate each other or anything. You were just feeling upset about a particular thing that you should have just fucking talked to them about, and that screaming match would have never have happened. You could have gotten over whatever the fuck was on your mind and moved on, and everything would have been better. And you know, whatever it is you wanted to achieve together as you know, as friends, you could have got to that position a lot quicker, and all of that emotion and all of that anger stored up over those however long you let it go for would have never have been in your mind. You would have gotten over and done with. You would have spoken to them about this, whatever the fucking thing you wanted to speak to them about, and you would have just felt better right from the fucking get-go. And yeah, I mean, maybe this is obvious to some people, but for others it's not as obvious. The conversation is a powerful thing, man. Words are fucking powerful. It's crazy. Like, I've found it's just like mind-boggling in how powerful it can actually be. Yeah. Anyway, I suppose if you take anything away from this episode, just fucking use your words, man, and try and use them for good. Be there for your friends and fucking, yeah, just talk about your shit. Just find someone that you trust and fucking talk to them. Use your words. If you have an issue with someone, or, someone that's close to you, fucking talk to them about it. And if for some reason you talk to them about the issue that maybe it's an issue that you have with them, if you have that conversation with them and they take it the wrong way and you end up not being friends with them, then maybe fucking that wasn't a good friendship to begin with. I don't know. I feel like a strong friendship, you should be able to have conversations with your friends and that should, that friendship should uphold those sorts of uneasy conversations. So yeah, at the end of the day, use your fucking words. Talk to each other. Don't let emotions fucking build up. If someone has died in your, if someone close to you that has died, fucking talk about it, man. I know it feels weird. I know it's uneasy. I know you don't want to walk into I'm not saying that you should walk into a party and be like, look, everyone listen to me. I've got something to talk about. But don't let it get to a position where it eats away at you, or eats away at your brain. Talk to people about it, and people respect you for that sort of thing too. Like if you can talk to someone about something that's can be as painful as something like that, people get to know you. Like, you let your guard down and you get to know people, and you can even build friendships out of that sort of thing, stuff. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I don't know if that was too sentimental, if it was too depressing. I don't know. But go out there, fucking talk to people. Be friendly. Catch ya.